Hello Virgo, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Virgo, we're going to jump on in. We're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards first. So we're going to look at your recent past, current energy, and immediate future through oracle cards, and then we're going to dive deeper into the reading with tarot as we progress. But let's first start here with looking at what you guys have been dealing with, Virgo. Recent past here for Virgo. Ooh. Don't let pride get in your way, and communication is key. All right. Virgo, you've been hiding certain parts of your truth, holding back, who you really are and how you really feel. And I feel like you've been doing this to try to fit in or to try to make certain people happy. And I feel like you're hitting dead ends with this. I don't think this is working anymore. And I think that there was a part of you that was kind of taught to maybe placate others or to, be what you felt you needed to be in order to be accepted or loved or chosen or whatever. And I think that this is kind of this energy of coming out of your shell in a way, stepping a lot into your truth, like no longer holding back how you feel, like being honest about what it is that you need and what it is that you desire and what it is that you deserve. I think we wait on the world around us to see our value, but the world around us reflects the value that we hold within ourselves. And when we kind of get fed up with certain situations, it's pushing us into almost like getting to this point where we're like, I can't do this anymore. I deserve more. I need this. This is how I feel. Like that is intentional. And then that does end up pushing away certain people, but it pushes away people who aren't able to align with what it is that you really deserve. So let's look at your current situation here, Virgo. It's like kind of that energy of asking for the raise, like taking the risk and having like the hard conversation. Like that's really what this energy is about here. Current energy for you, Virgo. Oof. Surrender to the divine. Surrendering to what you can't control is really important right now. I think this is the hardest part about stepping into alignment and, showing up in our authenticity and our truth is we want everything to align. We want everyone to understand us. We want people to, get it. Not everybody is going to understand you when you're connected to your truth. And that's not a reflection of who you are. It's often a reflection of where other people are at and how they're going to project their inability to stand in their truth onto you. So this is, definitely being willing to let go of the need, like to be understood or accepted or whatever the case might be, because I do feel that that's holding you back in a lot of ways. Because you have your dreams need a practical plan. I really feel like this is like a really big habit or cycle that's breaking you, or that you're not breaking. Maybe it is breaking you. I don't know. I didn't mean to say that though. That you're needing to break to really step into like a purpose or like an aligned path of some sort. And I think that you've been trying to like keep yourself small or hold certain things back to like make certain things work, but this has required self-abandonment, and anything that requires self-abandonment isn't meant for you at the end of the day, and it's blocking what is meant for you. So part of aligning with what you deserve, with what you desire, is about getting willing to lose what doesn't align with that. When you start standing in your truth, speaking your truth, being honest about what you need, things like that. What does Virgo need to know moving forward? A time to give rather than take. Nothing will come of this situation. This has been such a familiar theme in the future energy, this nothing will come of this situation card. And it doesn't mean this is going to lead to a dead end. That's not what I see this as. I see this as if you want things to change in your life, if you want progress in certain areas, you have to be the one to take the step to make that progress. Like nothing ever changes if nothing ever changes. So if you're sitting in certain areas where you're feeling undervalued and not seen and not heard, you're looking at it as this reflection as if there's something wrong with you. If you're not being chosen, if you're not being valued or appreciated, you're going, oh, it must be something wrong with me. When in reality, I feel like you haven't been in spaces that can really align with what it is that you have to give, meaning that this doesn't have anything to do with you inherently being wrong, but the environments that you're in not fully aligning. It's kind of like, if you plant the seeds of like a flower or a plant, right? And it doesn't grow, you don't curse the plant. You don't think there's something wrong with the seed. You change the environment, right? You change how much you're watering it or how much sunlight it's getting. Like we have to look at ourselves that way. If we really want to flourish, if we want to step into our our fullest potential, we have to be willing to stand in environments where we're seen and heard and loved and valued. And a lot of getting to those places is about no longer trying to force ourselves to fit in certain spaces where we don't belong. And that's where we start to open up to what is really meant for us, is when we start to invest in what is meant for us, instead of trying to force what isn't. And I think that that's kind of the hardest part about alignment, is especially when we have like friendships or relationships or jobs or paths that like we really want to align, but just like don't work. That, that can be really hard and really challenging, but freeing yourself from those spaces is really what is going to open you up to better. Overall theme of this year for you, Virgo. Protection. Some divine protection is happening in your life right now. Anything that is falling away because you've been honest about what you need or deserve, or anything that does fall away because you get honest about what you need and deserve, is divine protection. Anything that makes you feel wrong for being who you are, standing in your truth, is the universe moving you closer to the things that are going to align with you. So this isn't about trying to, be what you think you need to be. This is about truly, radically, unapologetically being who you are. And a lot of times that can feel like rejection, especially if certain people or situations don't align. But look at what it leads to. The boundaries that you set in association, it leads to relief. It's almost as if you are able to get to this place where you are like, okay, I'm no longer trying to force, I'm no longer trying to shapeshift or hold back how I feel or make this person happy even though it's hurting myself. Like, you really get to this place where you're like, okay. And it's hard because it does come with kind of processing, like I said, feelings around rejection or abandonment when certain people or certain situations don't align. But that is the whole thing. We stay in places that don't align with us because of those fears. And when we stay in places that don't align, we block what's really meant for us. So you're experiencing divine protection in your life that's moving you toward what's really meant for you. Boundaries are really important right now. Standing tall in your truth and what you deserve is really important for you right now. We're not backing down, Virgo. We're not backing down just because certain people don't see it or don't align with it. All right, let's dive into this some more. Let's look at this past energy. Communication is key with don't let pride get in your way. Reset past for Virgo. The biggest thing I'm sensing here is a fear of loss. A fear of loss. And that makes a lot of sense. And I think, that kept you stagnant, Two of Swords in reverse, for a really long time. It's almost like knowing that something wasn't aligning or wasn't treating you the way that you deserved or wasn't fitting, but almost like feeling like, I don't know if it was an obligation or feeling as if you had to stay in certain places or you had to just kind of allow it to happen. And I think that this is a lot about really taking your power back from things that just have not aligned with you for a while now. Past energy for Virgo. Yeah, because you were pouring yourself into certain people, certain experiences, certain paths. Like this is hard work right here. 8 of Pentacles. Showing up, supporting, giving, investing, and just feeling as if you are not being met where you desired to be met. And I think you kind of looked at it like, okay, let me try harder then. Like, let me give more, let me invest more, let me show myself, prove myself more. And then I think eventually you got to a place where you were like, I can't take it. And I feel like there could have been something explosive, maybe a big argument or fight. There didn't have to be, but I do definitely feel like you kind of hit your limit with a certain situation. The 4 of Cups here. Let me clarify this. Yeah, the 9 of Pentacles. This is you actually getting what you want. Because I think you're looking at this as like, I didn't get what I wanted. You didn't get what you thought you wanted. But that's what divine protection is all about. And that's why I've always said, like, some of the universe's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers because sometimes things don't work out, so better things can fall into place. But the more that we try to force what doesn't align, the more we block what's really meant for us. Current energy here for you, Virgo. Five of Swords. Wheel of Fortune. You don't trust it. You don't trust it at all, but things are actually working out in your favor. The Wheel of Fortune here. Things are actually working out in your favor. To you, I don't think it feels that way. I think it feels like certain things aren't working even though you put a lot of energy and effort into it. And that can be hard and that can be challenging, and that's why you have surrender. That's why you have surrender here. This is about letting go and trusting the unfolding of your life. Whoa. Yeah, this is about walking away from things. Walking away from things that have kept you trapped. 8 of Cups. 8 of Swords. Things that have kept you trapped in a certain reality and a certain experience and certain feelings, like whether it's friendships or romantic relationships or jobs or whatever. I think that it's like, yeah, hitting a certain dead end, not being able to get what you needed out of it. And I think that this is not a time to hold back. Like, Virgo, truly, this is a time to stand tall in your truth and who you are and what you deserve. And like, I know that I said this a lot at the beginning. Not everybody's going to see that. Not everybody's going to understand that. But the people who are meant for you will never be able to find you. The spaces that are meant for you will never be able to find you if you're pretending to be someone you're not, or if you're pretending to feel a certain way when you don't, or if you're pretending you're okay with something, or if you're holding back or making yourself small just to make it work or fit. Like, if you truly want to, receive the things that are waiting for you, you have to let go of what doesn't align, even if you want it to align. And that's the hard part. What do you have moving forward? So things the wheel is turning in your favor right now. You don't trust it. That's okay. It makes sense why. I think that you're kind of in a defensive place right now and kind of have this like maybe feeling as if the universe screwed you over, like isn't helping you. But the universe is helping you through divine protection. Sometimes we think we know what's best for us, but then when things work out how they're supposed to, we go, wow, I'm actually so glad it didn't work out the way that I thought I wanted because this is so much better. But yeah, okay. What do you need to know moving forward here, Virgo? A time to give rather than take. Nothing will come of this situation. Immediate future for Virgo, please. I like that. The 10 of Wands in reverse. This is putting down the burdens of others. Virgo, you've been carrying a lot, and then the Ten of Cups. You've been trying to make everything work for everybody, to make everybody happy, to make certain people feel good or see your value or to be enough for others. And this is about putting that down so you can finally have your fulfillment with the Ten of Cups. Your fulfillment's been waiting for you to stop trying to find fulfillment in places that don't align. That's what this feels like. It's like you feel like you were waiting on the universe all this time, but the universe is waiting on you to kind of put your foot down here. And it actually leads you to so much better than I feel like, yeah, because look at that Six of Wands, success and fulfillment. And it feels like it's like, I don't know, letting it be easy, letting it happen for you, like letting you be supported and guided. Like, I feel as if you've been blinded by like a certain path or something, certain relationship, and you've really tried to make certain things work in these spaces. And it not working, I feel, has you thinking, oh, that means I can't have the things I deserve and desire. And Spirit's saying, no, absolutely not. This is actually moving you closer to those things. You've been divinely protected from what never was able to be what you deserve, so you can finally have the things that you do deserve. And being willing to surrender to that path, I think, is really important to actually move you into those spaces. So yeah, this future energy is good, but it's like nothing is ever going to change if nothing ever changes, right? Like if you want things to shift, if you want things to be better, if you want, things to happen, you have to take back control of what's in your control. You have to focus on what is in your power and your control. And one of the biggest things that we forget is in our power and our control is boundaries. Standing tall in what we deserve, standing tall in who we are, being unapologetic about who we are, what we want, and what we deserve. And it's scary because a lot of times it feels like, well, if I'm not accepting less or if I'm not forcing or controlling, then it's never going to happen. That's the whole thing. We force and control when we have fear that it's never going to happen. And that fear typically stems from the belief that we aren't deserving of it. So if we really want to attract the things that we desire, we have to move as if it's all working out for us, even if that means letting go of things that we wish would have worked but aren't actually aligned with what's best for us. So with that being said, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, ultimately answering the question, what do you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? So looking at that tangible advice, and then I've got an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Virgo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Virgo.